Hello everybody, my name is Braden. I'm the service manager here and I'm with Jacinta. She's one of our journeyman technician and she's gonna change the oil on this bike. What Jacinta's gonna do right now is run the bike, get it warmed up. She's gonna let the oil circulate, get any of the debris, any of the carbon, any of the particulates build up in the oil before she drops it. In this shop, we use those steel pans right there because we're changing oil. She'll do 4 or 5 in a day. What we're gonna use today though, you guys don't care how we do it here. These things we sell at the front of the parts counter. I own 2 of these at home. I use them on my car and my bike. They're perfect catch pans. You bring them to us here and we'll dump them in our waste oil and recycle it for you. So you can buy this pan, change your own oil at home. So 5-10 minutes max. Doesn't have to be hot, just warm. Get the oil mixed up. That's all we need to do. Today we're just gonna do engine oil. So she has a ratchet with her 5/8 socket. They've used a drain plug that uses a 5/8 socket since 1998, I think. The only difference is if you have a Sportster, like Jacinta's bike right here, this is her bike she's building. Sportster engine oil drain plug is this little guy right here. One screwdriver, loosen off the worm clamp, pull that plug, it'll drain out. So she's gonna get under the bike right now. Put that 5/8 socket on the drain plug. She'll loosen the drain plug off and then she'll pull the dipstick. Once you pull the dipstick, it's gonna come out much faster. Atmospheric pressure will push down the oil, so it's gonna like be hot and potentially burn your hand. It's better you wear gloves. Don't let that bad motor oil touch your hands. So she'll get under there with the ratchet, pull out the drain plug. So like I said, we're just doing engine oil. She's not pulling the primary, she's not pulling the transmission oil. If you are gonna do your own engine oil, make sure you pull the right drain plug. Otherwise, it'll be a really long day. Yeah, if you can have it upright. But in this case, the drain plug is over on the left side, kickstand's on the left side, the bike's gonna tilt that way. You can do this on the side stand, and there's nothing wrong with doing this on the side stand. It's on the lift, it's up high, so we can save Jacinta's back. But if you're doing this once a year in your own garage, on the side stand, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do that to my bike at home. So on the side stand is absolutely okay. If you are doing this to a Harley at home, on the drain plug, there's a magnet on the end. So if there's any excess metal debris, anything like that, that'll tell us if there's something to look at. There's no metal on the drain plug, so it's all good. What I'm gonna remove right now is the O-ring. So the O-ring can be bought from the parts department. It's what you buy at the parts department is what we use in the shop here. But we'll replace that every time, and then we'll also put a little bit of thread sealant on there. So not like plumber's tape kind of thing, the wrap stuff. We have a liquid stuff we put on there. And Jacinta's gonna clean off all the old stuff right now. She's got a little wire brush. She's gonna clean basically all the crap off, keep the threads clean. So she's gonna put a new O-ring on, and then she's gonna use this stuff that we use here in the shop. Not super practical that you would have this at home, but something like this, something to just help leaks not happen. The next thing Jacinta's gonna do is take the oil filter off, which would be on the left side of the bike. So she has a Harley-Davidson tool on it. So this is a Harley-Davidson specific tool that you can buy from the parts department that'll fit on all of Harley-Davidson's oil filters. There are other universal oil filter wrenches out there. I'm not gonna say that you have to own this, but it fits Harley-Davidson filters. So if you have a Harley-Davidson, this fits on there, just with your regular 3/8 extension and a ratchet, you can remove it.
The only thing I will say, unfortunately with Harley oil filters, there is no clean way to do this. It's gonna suck, and you're gonna think that it's gonna get messy. Buy brake clean. There is no non-messy way to do this section of an oil change. I'm so sorry.
And now that you said that, be patient with your service department. Sometimes oil residue will stay and there may be the occasional drip. That's just life. It's gonna get oil all over the place. So Jacinta's gonna put some oil in the filter. The way that it works is this filter needs to fill up with oil before it'll pressurize and get up to the rest of the motor. It happens really quick, you fire up your bike, but the more this is full of oil, the better chance it has of getting oil to the top end faster. But if you fill it up too much, when you go to thread it on, it's just gonna dump out. So really, you're only looking at like maybe half, maybe less. Just get it inside as much as you can. And then what she did is she put oil on the seal itself. She's not gonna make this super tight on there. If you use your ratchet, your tool to put it on, you're gonna regret your choices a year later. It'll never come off. You're gonna have to like jam a screwdriver in there and pry it off. You put it on until the seal mates with a little bit of oil on there, and then just like almost a full turn after, and that's sufficient. After a couple heat cycles, it'll be good and tight. 3/4 of a turn once it seats, it's tight, you're good. So what she's doing right now, she used brake clean. That's what's in the spray bottle. Of course, we buy it in bulk. You can buy like aerosol cans from Canadian Tire, Princess Auto, whatever. But brake clean, it'll evaporate. So she's gonna use compressed air sprays brake clean on it, degreases the oil, then hits it with compressed air, and that will make it evaporate, so it's like that oil just disappears. After that, she's gonna put the drain plug in. Before she puts the oil in, she's gonna use the service manual, which is open on the computer, because that's what we do here. I'm not just saying that, it's actually what we do here. She'll use a torque wrench, and she'll put that drain plug to the proper torque, which is 12 to 15 foot-pounds. But let's go ahead and assume that nobody has a torque wrench at home. I don't, mine's over there in my toolbox, so I don't have it at home. If you're gonna change your oil at home, if you have a new fresh O-ring on there, make sure it's tight. Just tight, all your strength, just give it a good crank. You'll be fine. I'm not here to say you can't do it at home if you don't have a torque wrench. You don't have to own a torque wrench. Make sure it's good and tight. So Harleys are different than sport bikes in a lot of ways, but in particular, the level of the oil. Sport bikes, very conveniently, typically have that sight glass where you can see you're dumping oil and you can see it come up, right? Harleys don't have that. We're gonna put in the amount of oil that our service manual tells us to put in, or owner's manual in that case. It'll say, you know, like your fill, your initial fill will be however many liters per your bike. In this case, I believe it's just over 3 liters. We're gonna put in just over 3 liters because we know that that's what this bike takes. And you will do the research and you'll find out how many liters of oil your bike takes. If this bike's oil capacity is 5 liters, we're gonna put in just over 3, we're gonna put in maybe around 4. And then we're gonna run it, we're gonna get it warm, and we're gonna use the dipstick, and we're gonna check. The dipstick has a level. The dipstick will have a level for on the side stand or if the bike's upright, and we're gonna use that to make sure, and that's what we use. It does not have to be at the full line, because the hotter the oil gets, the thinner it gets, therefore the more it's gonna expand. So we just want it above the add line, below the fill line, and we're gonna let it vary as the engine temperature changes. That's how it is by design. As long as you see it on the dipstick anywhere, you're good. This bike holds more than 5 liters of oil. With the oil cooler and the oil lines above it, it's a lot of oil. So there's enough there, as long as you see it on the dipstick. So in this case, she has her oil pre-measured. She knows how much she's gonna put in there based on the service manual. So if you own a Harley at home, Sportster, Touring, Softail, Dyna, whatever it may be, obviously before you start your oil change, you're gonna make sure you have enough oil. You're gonna do the research, figure out if you need 4 or 5 liters of oil. You're gonna have that ready to go. So filter's tight, drain plug's in and torqued. She's now filling the oil. She's gonna get between that dipstick line, and then she's gonna run it 5-10 minutes max. And then she's gonna use the dipstick, check the level on the side stand or upright, and then she's gonna make sure everything's really clean before we give it back to the customer, and that's it. It's not complicated. She used one tool. She used a ratchet with a 5/8 socket. She used a brush to clean the drain plug, a new O-ring, some thread sealant, some fresh oil, a new filter, all the stuff you can buy at the parts department here, or anywhere, doesn't have to be here, but this is all very, very capable stuff to do at home. Harleys are allowed from Motor Company to use up 1 liter per 1,000 kilometers. Just from high temperature, from high compression, the oil is doing a lot of work and it will burn off. So you have to check your oil in between. And I do recommend, as we were just talking about with Becca, the owner of this bike, her oil was clean, there was no metal fragments because she does her service every 8,000 kilometers and changes her engine oil every 4,000, so halfway between those services. That is my recommendation. Type of oil you use, check your owner's manual. Obviously we use Harley-Davidson oil here. There are other options, AMSOIL, Motul. Just make sure if you have factory warranty or extended service plan, it's not going to affect that. But make sure it's an approved oil. So the transmission, the primary on like a modern 2018 later Harley is every 16,000 kilometers. So that engine, the transmission primary oil doesn't have to be changed as often. There's no combustion happening in there like there is in the engine. They're there strictly for lubricating or protecting the bearings, so they can go a little bit longer. So 16,000 kilometers. Those are things you don't have to do every season at home. If you're having your bike serviced at a dealership every 8,000 kilometers, which I recommend you do, those will be taken care of. So Jacinta's gonna warm this bike up. She'll do the hot oil check. She's gonna use the dipstick on the lines. For that, we can get out of her hair.